The black on black crime continues to skyrocket in the United States of America, particularly Chicago, and Black Lives Matter is nowhere to be found because apparently Black lives only matter when it is going according to their narrative. And yes, I could already hear the woke-tards already saying, well, Drew, that's not what Black Lives Matter is about. It's about brutality and police brutality. Yes, I am fully aware that Black Lives Matter is not about black lives if it doesn't fit the narrative. Yes, I know that. We are going to get into a lot of stuff tonight. Welcome to Drew Hernandez Live. My name is Drew Hernandez, hopefully one of your favorite podcast hosts here on YouTube. If you guys can do me a huge favor right now, hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving and spent time with the family. But right now, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and toggle on the all selection right now. Do it right now because YouTube expects you to have the attention span and a memory of a hamster. No offense to hamsters, but they expect you to be lazy. So don't wait until the end of the show or you decide to click out of here. Do it right now. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and toggle on the all selection. Smash that like button, destroy that like button. Do it right now. Do it right now. And also copy the link and share this out. DH Alliance worldwide. Drop your city, your state, your country, wherever you're tuning in from. Let me know in the comment section below, but please share this link, the DH Alliance, boots on the ground. We need every single one of you to get this transmission out. We are deboosted, throttled here on YouTube, and if you stick around long enough, you will see just exactly why, because of the content that we cover. So please, right now, guys, also, we do super chats at the end of every single show. So if you would like to support me and my journalism and my show, drop a super chat right now in the middle of the show if you love something I say, or just hold off and wait till the end of the show. We do Q&A format at the end of every single show. And shout out to the DH Alliance, those that support me monthly for as low as $5 a month, or you could support me monthly on Patreon for any amount you desire. All of those links are in the description below. And ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by the official DrewHLive.com merch store. It is Cyber Monday today, so ladies and gentlemen, please stop supporting Disney, stop supporting all of these big tech companies that do not support you and your values. Support Drew Hernandez and the official Hold the Line t-shirt. It comes in different colors, so if you like different colors, you can obviously click a different option in different sizes, but people seem to love the official Hold the Line military green t-shirt. So make sure the link is in the description below. Go check that out right now. Let's take it down. Go check that out right now. Before we begin, guys, thank you so much. I just want to say thank you to all of the support we've been receiving. And also, I hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving. You spent time with your family and your loved ones. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to every single one of you guys. Thank you. Smash that like button. Destroy that like button. Okay, let's begin today. A lot of news breaking over the weekend, a lot of news that broke today, so we're going to cover a whole range of topics. The Ghislaine Maxwell trial has begun. Let's get this up. For those that do not know, this is a very serious trial that the judge has not allowed the press or any TV or cameras to live stream the Maxwell trial, just like they streamed the Rittenhouse trial. It has not been allowed to be live streamed. I'm not sure if there's actually press in the courtroom able to take notes or anything like that, but they are trying to hide this and change the narrative. And if you are not familiar with the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, you need to become familiar with it because these are serious issues. It's tied with Jeffrey Epstein. Big tech doesn't want this out. The mainstream media doesn't want this out. The deep state doesn't want this out. And there's a lot of deep state ties to what's happening here. So we will see how this unfolds. But for those of you that are not familiar with what this is, you need to be. British socialite is accused of helping to recruit, groom, and ultimately abuse 4 teenage girls for sexual acts with Epstein. That is Jeffrey Epstein. Ghislaine Maxwell anticipated trial starts Monday. It's already underway today. I believe the jury has already been sat down. The British socialite accused of being disgraced financiers Jeffrey Epstein Madam faces 6 criminal counts and could spend up to 70 years in prison if convicted. Maxwell, 59 years old, is accused of helping to recruit, groom, and ultimately abuse 4 teenage girls for sexual acts with Epstein from 1994 to 2004 at his Manhattan home, his estate in Palm Beach, Florida, his ranch in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Maxwell's home in London. The British socialite, the daughter of disgraced media titan Robert Maxwell, will be brought from the Brooklyn Federal Prison Metropolitan Detention Center, where she is being housed, to the Manhattan Federal Courthouse every day. The 4 accusers are expected to take the stand. The alleged victims and other witnesses will be remaining anonymous, and some will be testifying under a pseudonym. Minor Victim 1 will tell the jurors how she met Maxwell at approximately 14 years old and how Maxwell attempted to befriend her, taking her to the movies and on shopping trips, but also then sought to normalize inappropriate and abusive behavior by, for example, undressing in front of her and being present when the minor was undressed in front of Epstein. She will tell how Maxwell was not only present, but also involved in some of Epstein's sexual abuse. The other 3 alleged victims will all talk about being befriended by Maxwell and being encouraged by her to perform sexual massages on Epstein. Minor Victim 4 will also tell how she was paid hundreds of dollars in cash directly by Maxwell for providing Epstein with sexualized massages. People might be asking themselves, why is this important? Well, I'm going to explain that to you right now. Prosecutors will also showcase Maxwell's intimate relationship with Epstein, including showing the jurors a picture of the pair swimming nude together. The government will also try to prove that she was paid by Epstein to manage his various properties. The feds arrested Maxwell on July 2nd, 2020 at a mansion in New Hampshire where she had been living. She has been behind bars ever since after pleading not guilty and being denied bail 6 times, including twice by an appeals court. Her trial has been delayed due to the pandemic, and its logistics will still be challenging. The court is keeping the jurors socially distanced as well as the public in attendance. The witnesses will be seated next to the judge but behind a plexiglass guard. Attorneys will also be behind a plexiglass guard when questioning the witnesses. Maxwell will be seated at the defense table next to her attorneys. Before the parties get to opening statements, jury selection will have to be concluded. That has already happened, with Judge Allison Nathan can then seat the jury, which I believe is an Obama appointee. There's a lot of deep state connections here that people are just like, wow, of course. That Judge Allison Nathan can then seat the jury, a group of 12 and 6 alternates, and instruct them on the law. All of Epstein's, it says, at least some of Maxwell's and Epstein's victims are expected to attend. Some of Maxwell's family members, our friends, are also expected to attend, namely her sister, Isabel Maxwell, who has been in the courtroom every day for jury selection. Now, why is this important? Here's a little bit of context. Epstein died by suicide. Okay, suicide. In prison while awaiting his trial on sex trafficking charges in 2019. His former girlfriend has maintained that she has not committed any crime and that she is being prosecuted by proxy. The trial is expected to last about 6 weeks. Regardless of the outcome, Maxwell will still face another trial for 2 counts of perjury that the judge previously agreed to separate at the defense's request. Let's take this down. Why is this important? This is important because Jeffrey Epstein is directly tied to the Clintons. Jeffrey Epstein is directly tied to the deep state. Many left-leaning Democrat politicians and even some Hollywood elites. Epstein's Island and flight logs had a lot of Hollywood elite names on those flight logs, including Bill Clinton himself, the Lolita Express. This is stuff that the mainstream media will not talk about. It is not hidden that Jeffrey Epstein was a pedo. Jeffrey Epstein was engaged in sex trafficking. Jeffrey Epstein was engaged at this at a very, very high level, the deep state level. obviously Hollywood connections, obviously deep state, high-level politicians, even some aspects of the right as well. This individual is evil. Jeffrey Epstein was not a saint. Jeffrey Epstein was not a good person. This guy was evil. He was engaged in human sex trafficking of minors. That is literally a fact. Why is this important? Because Miss Maxwell herself is now on trial because she is being accused of being an accomplice with Jeffrey Epstein. So this is going to open the door to possibly many other people that are involved in these human sex trafficking child rings. A lot of people were saying, oh, dude, that's just a conspiracy theory. That stuff doesn't exist. This is real. This is exactly what this is. This is exactly what everybody warned everyone about. And everyone said, oh, you're just a QAnon Trump right-leaning conspiracy theorist. No, this is happening. This is why this trial is important. And there are other details. Let's get this up. Jack tweeted this the other day. I think it was yesterday. The lead prosecutor in the Ghislaine Maxwell case is Maureen Comey. She is the daughter of James Comey. Now, who is James Comey? He was the lead of the FBI while they were taking a look into Clinton's infamous emails on her servers, the private emails or the classified emails on her own private server. If you guys remember, James Comey was literally the head of the investigation, allowed Hillary Clinton to walk, even though he was literally asked, point blank, did you find anything on Miss Clinton's private server? Yeah, we did find some classified information that's totally against the law, but they gave her a pass. These are the types of people that are involved with this stuff. And some people are tweeting out, I think it was Bloomberg. Bloomberg came out and tweeted out that this is possibly the next #MeToo trial. Is Miss Maxwell a victim of a man? This is what people are saying. They think that she's a victim, that maybe she did this against her will. I'm not saying that. I'm just reporting to you what these psychopaths on the left are trying to say about Miss Maxwell. It's very clear. She's on trial. We will see what happens, but it's clear that there are deep state ties. There are, I believe the judge is an Obama appointee. Obviously, the main prosecutor is the daughter of James Comey, someone that let Hillary Clinton off the hook with clear evidence in front of the entire world that what she was doing was illegal. Hillary Clinton walked. I think we know how this is going to end. The innocent people that have been violated are not going to get justice, and the deep state will get their way. I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think in the comment sections below? Let's take this down. So this trial is underway as I speak. There are a lot of Twitter accounts that are covering this, including myself as well. But like I said, the press, the media, there aren't allowed any cameras inside of the courtroom, and you could only imagine why. Why would we not want to see this? Why would we not want to see what happened with a possible, aid of human trafficking, sex trafficking of children? Why would not the public be allowed to see this? This is exactly why people get accused of being conspiracy theorists, because they cover up stuff like this to this kind of level, when the American people deserve to see just exactly what happened. So we'll see what happens with this. I don't want to report any further. We'll wait for more details to come out, and then we'll report further on this. But the trial's literally underway. I don't know if it concluded for today, but when we get more details, we will report those as well. We have a lot of news today. We have a lot of news coming out today. If you have not seen this, let's get this up as well. Twitter has a new CEO. Jack Dorsey has sat down. A lot of drama going on at Twitter, but Jack Dorsey is no longer the CEO of the big tech social media juggernaut known as Twitter. New CEO says Twitter is not bound by the First Amendment. So now, literally not even a day in, the reports are coming out. The individual that Jack Dorsey passed the mantle down to is an individual who has claimed that Twitter is not bound by the First Amendment. This is what he said. Our role is not to be bound by the First Amendment, but our role is to serve a healthy public conversation. The hell does that mean? And our moves are reflective of things that we believe lead to a healthier public conversation. What does that mean? Translation, we will dictate what that means, and we will begin to dictate what that looks like, and we will begin to dictate what you can or cannot say on Twitter, because we are the ones who defined what a healthier public conversation means. This is the future of Twitter. His name is Parag. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I don't care if I get it wrong. Agrawal. Parag Agrawal. This is what he tweeted. I'm not sure if people have seen some of his tweets, but here are one of his tweets where he said this as well. This was in 2020. He said, if they are not going to make a distinction between Muslims and extremists, let me make this bigger, actually. I tweeted this earlier. But this is what Twitter's new CEO tweeted in 2020. Here it is. Parag Agrawal, new CEO of Twitter, tweets this on October 26th. 2010. October 26, 2010. This is who is now the new CEO of Twitter, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, it's someone who hates white people. If they are not going to make a distinction between Muslims and extremists, then why should I distinguish between white people and racists? There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The new CEO of Twitter are tweeting things like this. Jack Dorsey announced on Monday that he would be stepping down from his post as CEO of Twitter, a company he founded in 2006, and will be replaced by Chief Technology Officer Parag Agrawal. While Dorsey has consistently come under fire from pundits and politicians alike for appearing to censor and suppress stories in an attempt to uphold a left-leaning narrative. Agrawal is on the record opposing free speech initiatives on the social media platform. During a November 2020 interview, Agrawal spoke to MIT's MTech podcast about misinformation, which is defined as intentionally false or misleading information shared in an attempt to push a specific narrative. Agrawal told Gideon Lichtfield, Tech Review's editor-in-chief, that the First Amendment was not something Twitter was bound by. Would you look at that? Does that come as a surprise to anybody? This is what he went on to say. You're caught in a bit of a hard place, as somebody in the audience is also pointing out that you're trying to combat misinformation. Lichtfield said to asked Agrawal. You also want to protect free speech as a core value, and also in the United States as the First Amendment. How do you balance those two? A pretty reasonable question to pose to someone like this. And this was his response. Our role, Agrawal said, is not to be bound by the First Amendment, but our role is to serve a healthy public conversation, and our moves are reflective of things that we believe lead to a healthier public conversation. He also said, the kinds of things that we do about this focus less on thinking about free speech, but thinking about how the times have changed. Oh, wow. Your typical progressive that thinks that the First Amendment is irrelevant and free speech is irrelevant because of the times changing. Isn't it crazy how these people go backwards? Like the Soviets, we didn't learn anything from the Soviets. We didn't learn anything from the Nazis. We didn't learn anything from, communist Cuba. Yeah, censorship, when we dictate speech to society, it never goes bad. Ask North Korea how that's going for them. The citizens, not the regime. Ask China. The citizens, not the regime. He also said, one of the changes today that we see in speech is easy on the internet. Most people can ask, where our role is particularly emphasized is who can be heard. The scarce commodity today is attention. There's a lot of content out there, a lot of tweets out there. Not all of it gets attention. Some subset of it gets attention. These are who these people are. So let's take this down. But, see, this is the problem with big tech, and I knew it would come to this someday. It's already here. We've already been experiencing it. We've already been seeing it. But what people need to understand is no matter where this goes, no matter if it's Twitter, Facebook, you name it, Meta, whatever they're calling themselves now, is what's happening with technology, because we have a neo-fascist system. That's literally what it is. They're communists, they're fascists. These people want to dictate speech, and they're using the apparatus of technology in order to do this. This is exactly what the Nazis did. The Nazis mobilized immediately with new technology. They grabbed radios. They put a radio, their own custom radios. The Nazis made custom radios. Put a radio in every single German's home so that they can have a one-to-one connection with the Führer, Adolf Hitler himself. Anything he said, any announcement he made, they used technology in order to propagate their propaganda in the minds of millions of people. To poison them all, to dictate them all. They controlled what went in and what went out. Drew, why are you saying this? Because when you hear someone like this say, the times have changed, so free speech is irrelevant. Is it really? Because how many times in history have communist or fascist regimes attempted to suppress speech, was successful, silenced the mouths of the society that they targeted, and it ended up in bloodshed, and it ended up in a bad scenario where it was not freedom? So think about now, think about where we are now with Twitter and these social media platforms where this is the public square space. This is where we speak. This is where we share ideas. It's now on the internet as much as it is in the real world. It's both. So eventually, somewhere down the line, you're going to get someone even worse than Jack Dorsey. You're going to get someone even worse than Mark Zuckerberg. You're going to get someone even worse than whoever you could think of that's at Google or YouTube right now. Now these new school individuals, the next generation, is moving in. You probably have guys like Jack Dorsey. Because at one time, Jack Dorsey came out, he believed in free speech and this and that, but he probably had no idea that the radical woke mob was going to get him to bend the knee to the point where you open up that door and you have to worship these people and submit to these people. I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt. But look, now we have a new generation that's coming in that doesn't even think twice about this stuff. They're coming in with the ideology. The new CEO of Twitter has an ideology that he believes that they are not subject to the First Amendment of the United States when it comes to free speech. These people believe this. It's not even a conversation. It's not even a second thought. They're not even going to reconsider this. So we'll see how far Twitter decides to go with their censorship and their deplatforming with anybody that they declare. Okay, listen, I could already hear the woke-tards out there. Well, Drew, you're just on the wrong side of history. And you hear these woke-tards always say on the left, oh, yeah, censor them all. One day, it's going to be you sitting in that seat. Because listen to how they define these things. We are the arbiters. We are the ones who dictate what a healthy public conversation is. So if you're someone on the left and they disagree with something that you're saying, if you come out and say something that disagrees with them, it's about the regime and the totalitarian power and control of the systems. That's what this comes down to. It's not even about left or right. Maybe right now it is. But further down the line, it's going to come down to what they want you to say, what they want you to read, what they want you to speak, what they want you to literally live as your reality, what they want tailor-made for you. Drew, you sound like a conspiracy theorist. Do I really? Go study freaking history. This has happened before. Now we just have crazier technology with the internet and devices and everything that we have at the tip of our hands with information that can be accessed like that. And we're seeing it. It's coming from the left. It's not coming from the right. It's predominantly coming from the left. These people believe in censorship. They believe in these things. But that's who we are dealing with right now. Okay, well, let's get to our top story of the day right now. I'm going to play you guys a video. I'm asking the question, where is Black Lives Matter on this one? That's the title of this episode. And pretty tragic story out of Chicago. I mean, this is happening on a daily basis. Out of Chicago, we had a young black individual. His father or his brother claimed that he was not a gangbanger. He loved to play basketball. Kid was shot dead in his neighborhood, murdered in cold blood. No motive released yet, but there are suspects. They're black on black murder. And then days later, the mother decides to go to the site, the memorial site where her son was gunned down in cold blood murder. And she gets murdered as well. So I'm asking the question, where is Black Lives Matter? Because if Black Lives Matter, they should matter in all circumstances, not when the narrative fits. And I'll explain that right now, but here's a clip. Take a look. Police. Chicago's defunding them. So who are you supposed to turn to now? Do you see who gets hurt in this? It's the black community. The black community gets hurt. Innocent black people that probably want nothing to do with defunding the police. Now they're trying to reach out to the police, but now they've defunded. They've lost a lot of funding out there. Now, I'm not going to rail on the black victims. I'm just coming out and stating the obvious, and I'm saying the quiet part out loud is you get these deranged black communists in Black Lives Matter that come out and want to defund the police, and then you have other innocent black people in the neighborhood that might actually respect the police and appreciate the police protecting their communities because they're very violent communities because there's a lot of black on black crime and violence and homicide and robberies going on right now. There are probably black people in these communities that actually want the police around because stuff like this happens. And the ones who get hurt the most are these innocent black people that want nothing to do with defunding the police. You see how this works? Oh, what an evil spider web Black Lives Matter spins. But where is Black Lives Matter? Where are they? I haven't heard a word on social media from any Black Lives Matter pages. I haven't seen a single tweet. I haven't seen anything from these so-called grifters that say they care about black people. I want to give you guys a little bit more context on this story because the fake news media will not cover this correctly. Let's get this up real quick. Here's a little bit more context on this. Chicago mom shot dead in same spot teen son was killed just days earlier. A mother of 6. I'm going to report this because Black Lives Matter won't, okay? A mother of 6 was gunned down in Chicago in the exact same spot where her 14-year-old son was shot dead just 3 days earlier. Delissa Tucker, 31, was fatally shot in the chest Wednesday morning while visiting a memorial set up for her son, Kevin Tinker, near their home in the city's Roseland neighborhood. Tucker has been lighting candles for her slain son after he was killed in a shooting on Sunday evening. The family told the Chicago Sun-Times police haven't confirmed if the two shootings are connected and no one has been arrested. But obviously I just showed you the video and there are suspects and they're black, of course. Cops said they discovered Tucker's body laying on the sidewalk after responding to a shot spotter alert just before 12:30 a.m. Wednesday. She was rushed to Roseland Hospital where she was pronounced dead. Authorities said they haven't found anyone along the street who witnessed that shooting, of course. Her son was pronounced dead at the scene 3 days prior after he was struck multiple times by gunfire. All the time Kevin was gunned down, he was standing outside a home that had been targeted earlier in the day. Police won't say if they suspect that Kevin was also targeted. Family have described the teen as a quiet boy and said he wasn't involved in any gang-related activity, according to a GoFundMe page. Let's take this down. You see, this is why this is tragic. And the reason why it's tragic is because you have these people. Now, I really can't speak on their intentions alone, but what I can say is what defund the police has done is it's hurt innocent people, including the black community. Not all black people want to defund the freaking police, but it's these radical, woke, communist, leftist, black leftists and BLM that have the biggest microphones and they ruin it for the rest of us, especially people of color. I'm going to use their language. People are like, Drew, why do you say POC? Why do you use their language? Because I use their language against them. These people think that all people of color, all blacks, all brown, they think that all these everybody wants to defund the police. Oh, to make our communities safer. Well, you know what? I don't agree with you. Because the one that gets hurt the most are the innocent people in these communities. These are the types of things that begin to happen. I've been making this point over and over and over and over again, because when you have these types of things going on in these communities where the ones that get emboldened are criminals, criminal activity, you have black on black crime, that's already a problem. Black on black homicide was worse under Obama, and now it's rising as well. And now we have it right now where the black community is ripping itself apart and Black Lives Matter doesn't say a thing. Because this agenda that BLM has ushered into the mainstream of the United States of America is going to hurt innocent people, including more black people. Because the black community already has an issue with ripping itself to shreds. So now it's going to get even worse. I hope they're happy. Where is Black Lives Matter? Where are they? Oh, this is what you always hear from these woke tards and these woke leftists. I can hear it already. Oh, Drew, Black Lives Matter. That's not what Black Lives Matter is about. Are you stupid? It's always these white leftists too. These stupid white leftists that come out of, oh, you're just stupid. That's not what BLM is about. You're so woke and virtue signaling. You think you're so high and mighty. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm fully aware that Black Lives Matter is not about black people's lives if it doesn't fit the damn narrative. I am fully aware of that. But all these woke tards on the left, they don't understand how stupid it really is. Oh, you guys claim to care about black people only if it fits the narrative. We're only talking about police brutality. We don't care about black people slaughtering each other. We don't care about that. We're not going to take to the streets. We're not going to take to the streets. We're not going to advocate for black people to stop slaughtering each other. We only want to do that when we think and when we say that it's white people going after black people, when it's cops. I'm sorry. I come out and say, I think all Black lives matter at all time. I come out and say, I think all white lives matter at all time. And I come out and say, and I think that all brown lives matter at all time. And the list goes on. You see where I'm going with this? You see how stupid BLM really is because they only care about certain lives when it fits a certain narrative, and people are fed up with this garbage. Are you? How much longer are we going to allow these people to have such a loud voice in this country? Listen, everyone, United States American citizens have the First Amendment right to peacefully protest, but these people themselves, they do not care about Black people. They don't. Imagine actually agreeing with the narrative that an organization named Black Lives Matter is only applied to Black lives when it fits a specific narrative. You stupid that sounds. It's absurd. It's woke-tarded. That's why I call it that. These woke-tards don't even understand how ridiculous that really sounds. Of course, police brutality is bad, even when it happens to white people, even when it happens to brown people. But if you're going to come out and title your organization Black Lives Matter, but you get all triggered and pissed off when someone like me says, hey, there's Black people slaughtering each other. There's Black people slaughtering innocent Black people in Chicago, in your communities. Are you guys going to do anything about that? How dare you say that? That's not what Black Lives Matter is about. It sounds insane. It's only about police brutality. Okay, whatever you guys say. Okay, listen, we know you're frauds. We know that Black Lives Matter is a neo-communist organization at its core. That's not my opinion. That's not my assessment. That is based on what they have claimed, trained Marxists. And it's no surprise to me that Black Lives Matter do not matter to Black Lives Matter if it is not fitting their specific narrative that they want. It is what it is. This is why we don't support it. This is why I cannot support it. Of course I would support an organization or a group of people that are being brutalized on planet Earth, okay? Unlike LeBron James. LeBron James is so concerned with Black people being brutalized in the United States of America. Oh my gosh, LeBron James is such a warrior. He's such an SJW. He's a social justice warrior. He uses his platform for good. LeBron James cares so much about injustice against humans. LeBron James doesn't say a damn word about the slaves in China that are used to literally create his products for Nike. LeBron James never says anything about that. You want to know why? Because LeBron James doesn't give a damn. He's stacking millions of dollars on the backs of slave labor. Oh, but we're supposed to listen to LeBron James when it comes to, there's Black people being slaughtered all over the United States of America. We have to take a stand. You know what, dude? I'll believe people like LeBron James when they start standing up for their own communities and holding their own communities accountable. Why doesn't LeBron James? Why doesn't Colin Kaepernick? Why don't all these woke Black people in the NBA, the MLB, the NFL, you name it, why don't all these woke Black people go down to their communities where Black people are slaughtering each other and advocate to put a stop to that? Why don't they do that? I'm speaking to the left right now. I'm talking to you guys right now. I'm speaking to why don't they do that? If these people care about people of color so much, why are they not going down to these communities where Black and brown people are slaughtering each other to advocate to put a stop to that and bring the peace there, to use their influence? We all know why. Because they don't give a damn. They don't care. They don't care at all. These people don't care about you. Black people out there, LeBron James does not care about you. Black people out there, Colin Kaepernick does not care about you. Al Sharpton does not care about you. Joy Reid does not give a damn about you. Don Lemon doesn't give a damn about you. Oh, Drew, what do you mean Don Lemon doesn't care about me? He's a voice for Black people on CNN. Don Lemon literally slanders white people virtually on a daily basis and is married to a white guy, or is engaged to a white guy, is having sex with a white guy, is blowing a white guy every single night of his life, and then jumps up on CNN and slanders and attacks white people for being the most dangerous threat in the United States of America. These people don't care. You think these people actually care about what you care about? They're grifters. They only say what they know you want them to say so that they get a pass. It's just the truth, man. It's just the truth, bro. And everybody knows. And everybody knows that these grifters that claim to side with, where's the NBA? Why doesn't the NBA, and listen, the NBA is billion-dollar organization? The NBA? What is the NBA doing to stop black-on-black homicide in Chicago? What is the NBA doing to put a stop to this in New York? If the NBA cares about black people, so do you see how far this goes? You see how far this really goes? You put this in the, who are all shilling for Black Lives Matter right now? Disney, NBA, the music industry, your favorite probably pop star, you freaking name it, bro. What the hell are they doing to put a stop to black on black homicide? Hey, I'm just saying, I care. I care about black people. I don't like to see black people killing each other at such high crime rates. You think I like to see that? I don't like to see brown people doing it. I don't like to see white people doing it, and the race wars as well. I don't like to see any of it. And I don't think you guys do either. I can just speak for myself. What I'm trying to say is, look, Black Lives Matter is going to sit here and accuse Drew Hernandez of being a racist because I'm the one coming out and saying, why aren't you guys speaking up for your communities when they're slaughtering each other? Why aren't you guys advocating or doing anything to put a stop to that? And I'm the racist? I'm the threat to the black community when I'm just pointing out that the black community is a threat to itself and that needs to end today? Clown world, and this is why I call these people woke tards. You know what would really be beneficial here is more black people need to start voicing their own opinions. More black people that take issue with this, more black people that are just fed up with the defund the police garbage, more black people that have a lot to say, that are like, Black Lives Matter does not represent me. These people I'm not a communist. I'm more concerned with the black on black homicide, crime, robberies in our own community. I think we need to fix that. And maybe the police will leave us alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like more black people need to come out and get more bold and get more vocal because you guys are the ones that have the voice. It's your community. I'll come out and say whatever I want. Nobody's going to tell me what I can or cannot say. This is America. I'll say exactly what I want, when I want, and how I want. But I just want to encourage the black community right now. You guys voice your opinions, get vocal, get active, because if you don't, these people are representing you. The majority of the country is looking at Black Lives Matter. I'm talking about like the woke, the liberals, okay? People on the left that think Donald Trump is a racist, that get all their news from just reading CNN headlines. You know what I mean? I'm talking about those people. Black Lives Matter is representing the black community to people like that, and that's millions of people. And you might say, well, that doesn't represent me. Well, it does if you're not going to say anything. This is why myself, as a minority, as a person of color, to use their terminology, which I use it just to use it against them, I don't allow these people to speak for me. This is why I'm so vocal, because if I don't say anything, these people will speak for me as a Latino man in the United States of America, and I refuse to allow them to put me in that position. So black people out there that are like, BLM doesn't represent me, I'm not a communist, I want nothing to do with that, I love good cops, I like law and order, then you guys need to start speaking up. That's just the truth. If you guys agree with that, drop a 1 in the comment section below, because stories like this are a disgrace to our country. Well, we have another one. Let's get this up. You guys remember the Asian Lives Matter movement? Protect Asian lives? Well, what happened to that? Over the weekend on November 27th, retired Oakland police officer murdered while protecting news crew documenting smash and grab retail looters. And he was Asian. Go figure. Protect Asian lives, right? Kevin Nishida, a father of 2 and grandfather of 3, was shot and killed while protecting a TV crew covering the surge of smash and grab crimes in the Bay Area. There he is. Asian man gunned down by hoodlums. This is a post-millennial article written by Ian Miles Chong. Shout out to him. Go follow him on Twitter. Kevin Nishida, a father of 2 and grandfather of 3, was shot and killed while protecting a TV crew covering the surge of smash and grab crimes in the Bay Area. Nishida, a security guard on assignment on guard a KRON4 news team in Oakland was shot and killed when a robber targeted the TV crew and to rob them of their cameras. Nishida, a retired Asian American police officer, confronted one of a dozen masked looters to protect the news crew, and one of the thugs shot him in the abdomen. Because Asian lives matter, right? I'm being sarcastic, of course they do, but you guys know what I mean. He died after being transported to hospital in critical condition. The Daily Mail reported KRON4's parent company, Nexstar Media, Nishida's employer, Star Protection Agency, and the Oakland Police Department have issued a $32,500 reward for information on his killers. The news team from KRON4 had been reporting on Wednesday on a robbery which had involved 12 armed thugs wearing masks and hoods targeting a Prime 356 clothing store in Oakland, the Daily Mail reported. Police officers also later found an additional victim, a Berkeley man who had been hit by shrapnel, who was also transported to the hospital. He is in a stable condition, the report continued. We are devastated by the loss of security guard and our friend Kevin Nishida. KRON4's Vice President Jim Rose said in a statement, the senseless loss of life is due to yet another violent criminal act in the Bay Area. Defund the police. He also said, we mourn the loss of retired police officer Kevin Nishida, who honorably served our Bay Area community, said the Alameda County Sheriff's Office on Twitter. He was guarding a local news crew when he was senselessly murdered. Nishida's death comes amid a surge in organized smash and grab flash mobs in the Bay Area, Chicago, Minneapolis. Sound familiar? Where the defund the police agenda has all rolled out? Sounds like a good idea, doesn't it, guys? And elsewhere across the country, which have been emboldened by the so-called defund the police movement, whose calls for police abolition has led to a change in policing policies in dealing with retail theft. Advocates of the defund the police movement claim that arresting and charging criminals for retail theft is a form of systemic racism that disproportionately affects blacks. Well, maybe black people should stop committing crimes. How about that? Let's take this down. But these communities do not want to hold themselves accountable, and that's the problem. The biggest problem here is that these communities do not want to hold themselves accountable, and we have to hold them accountable. We cannot just enable criminality. 9 times out of 10, when you see a looting video, you know what's going down in that video, and you know who's committing the looting. The black community does not want to hold itself accountable, so the black community is just not going to get any better. And then you have Black Lives Matter and the defund the police movements coming along and saying, it's systemically racist to throw a black person in jail that's committing a crime against the law. It's not racist. That's just law and order. But this is what the communist system has done to the United States of America. And the ones that are getting hurt are innocent people. Criminals get a pass, particularly black. Drew, why do you say just black? I mean, watch the videos, but what has the defund the police agenda been surrounded around? It's black people that are disproportionately thrown in jail because that's racist. Well, maybe because the crime rate is through the roof with the black community. Less than half the population commit more than half of the homicides and crimes and murders in the United States of America. I'm sorry, is that racist? No, that's just true. That's why I'm an advocate for these communities to hold them damn selves accountable. LeBron, get down there. You got a voice. Colin Kaepernick, get down there. You got a voice. Do something with your voice. Hold your own communities accountable. They're slaughtering each other. The crime rate is through the roof, not because of racism, but because they're literally not held accountable and they're running around slaughtering each other. You won't hear this on CNN. You probably won't even hear this on Fox. I don't know, but I just got to speak the truth because everybody knows that's the truth. Drop a 1 in the comment section below if you guys agree with that. Alrighty, guys, we're going to do some super chats, but I have a very special announcement. I have not had a single in-studio guest. I have not had a single in-studio guest on Drew Hernandez Live. That's this podcast. But tomorrow night, I will be having my first in-studio guest live here on this show. And I need every single one of you to show up, and I need every single one of you to share the show And I'm very, unless something happens, but it is confirmed as of right now, my very first guest on Drew Hernandez Live in studio will be Kyle Rittenhouse himself. We got Kyle Rittenhouse. He's going to be in studio tomorrow with me live here on this show. I need every single one of you to copy the link right now. Get people to subscribe to the show. I'm going to have a one-on-one with Kyle Rittenhouse himself tomorrow. It is either going to be at 1 p.m. Pacific or 2 p.m. Pacific based on his schedule. So this is a huge win for the DH Alliance. Shout out to every single one of you guys. Thank you guys so much. I think this is definitely going to be a big thing for our channel and for our show. I'm so stoked for tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon at 1 or 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will have Kyle Rittenhouse in studio, not on Skype, not on live stream, over the internet. Meaning it's not going to be, some remote location. Kyle Rittenhouse will be in studio tomorrow. So guys, drop major super chats. If there's anything you guys want to ask him, I will be with him tomorrow live. It's not going to be pre-recorded. It's not going to be from a remote location. We are going to have Kyle Rittenhouse in studio. Praise God. It's going to be amazing. This is my first in-studio guest, you guys. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that awesome? I'm super stoked for this, man. And God bless him. I was able to talk to Kyle on Thanksgiving. He's doing great. He sounds great. His mom is doing great. He's very grateful. He had an amazing Thanksgiving. The first thing he said to me, he's like, I'm just getting ready to just really stuff my face. So I'm super stoked to hang out with Kyle tomorrow. You guys are going to love this. Right now, it will be at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's based on his schedule. But as of right now, it is confirmed. We have Kyle Rittenhouse, Drew Hernandez on the DH Live podcast. It is going down in studio. In studio. Drop a 1 in the comment section if you guys are excited for that. But right now, we're going to do some super chats. This is exactly why you guys need to support Drew Hernandez and the DH Live show, because we will continue to fly out guests to have them in studio to put on a great show. We have a bunch of more guests that we would love. Guys, this is what we want to do. We want to be able to book flights, book them here, send them home, get them hotels. We want to roll in more guests on the show. So if you guys would like to support this show, drop a super chat right now or give a one-time donation through Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. The link is in the description below. You can also treat it as a super chat. You can write a little memo on Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. The links are all in the description below, but this is why we need you guys. This is why we need your support. Because of people like you, you guys are the ones that allow us to make this possible. I don't have a gigantic budget, guys. I don't have a huge budget for this show. I just have we the people. I have the connections. I can get Alex Jones on this show. I could probably maybe get Tim Pool on this show, but we need the support and to enable us to book flights there and back, hotels, all that good stuff. So go support me monthly on my Patreon or join the DH Alliance for as low as $5 a month. The link is in the description below, guys. We want to get more guests, but Kyle Rittenhouse will be our first in-studio guest by God's grace. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. Thank you guys so much for supporting this show. And don't worry, you guys, I am fully aware of what's going on with Kyle and how careful he needs to be. I'm not just a journalist. I am literally a part of what happened in this trial. So we are both fully aware to be careful. So if you guys don't trust me with that, then you're not a true fan of mine, because you guys should fully be aware that I'm fully capable of doing that. So thank you guys very much. Yes, we definitely need your support. So drop a super chat or support us monthly on Patreon or for as low as $5 a month, the DH Alliance membership section of this channel, or drop a donation through Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. Let's do this. Let's do some super chats right now. If there's anything you guys would like to ask me, and also let's get this up. This episode is brought to you by the DrewHLive.com merch store. The link is in the description as well. Go get yourself on this Cyber Monday a gift for your dad or for your mom. Maybe she's a former police officer or an active police officer, or maybe active duty military. Who knows? Go get the official Hold the Line t-shirt. People love this thing, man. This thing has been going. The link is in the description below. Or maybe your family member is a firefighter or a police officer, we have the separate colors. Or like I said, military. Go support Drew Hernandez live. Stop supporting these big tech companies or these big communist companies that do not share your same values. Let's take this down. All right, guys, let's do some super chats. I am so stoked for tomorrow, but let's do some super chats right now. This is how you guys can support me. We want to fly out more guests. Trust me, I have the connections to get some pretty big guests. We just need the budget. So we need you guys to keep us live on the air. We need you guys in order to enable us to be able to fly people out. It's going to be awesome, guys. This podcast is about to be taken to the next level, and it's only because of we, the people. That is you, the individual listening to my voice right now or watching this transmission. So thank you very much. Okay, we are going to roll out some super chats before I let you guys go. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Yes. Okay, we have a couple right here from Cold Haterade. We salute you. Cold Haterade says, we should be defunding rap music, not cops. You know, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy how they went after Kyle Rittenhouse, a responsible gun enthusiast? I don't know if we can call him that. Obviously, he knew what he was doing with his gun. Isn't it crazy how they went after Kyle Rittenhouse because he defended himself with a firearm in a very violent situation? And they tried to paint Kyle as like a homicidal, gun-toting maniac that wants to kill people, right? But isn't it funny, as a teenager, right? A young adult. But you go to SoundCloud right now. Who's your favorite SoundCloud rapper? I don't know. Ask your kids. If you got kids, 6ix9ine, Kodak Black, I don't know. Who else is out there? Trippie Redd. There's all kinds, like all these kids that rap about death and killing and shooting each other. Even the freaking Math Boy Fly, right? The homicidal black supremacist that ran a bunch of white people over in Waukesha. Have you listened to that guy's music? His rap name was Math Boy Fly. All he talked about was killing people, okay? Murdering people with firearms, all right? That's all that's literally saturated in mainstream SoundCloud trap hip hop, right? It's just killing people, getting guns, shooting them in the back of the head, you name it, right? But nobody bats an eye at that. Nobody says anything about that. Nobody wants to show any concern that we have a lot of young adults and teenagers, you know, I guess we could say writing poetic songs about manslaughter and homicide and murdering multiple people. But how long has that been going on? But like I said, nobody wants to talk about that, do they? They don't. We have another super chat from Bungle Bush with a $10 super chat. Thank you very much. Bungle Bush. The best thing that ever happened to me was when I was down and out living with my parents. My dad came into my room and said, "Get out of bed. I expect more from you than this. Get a job." And I did. You know, this is what... You're 100% right, because what's happening in the culture is we live in this like safe space culture where nobody wants to get their feelings hurt or nobody wants to hurt anybody's feelings. This is where participation trophies come in. You get a last place trophy because nobody wants you to feel bad about yourself because you didn't place. They don't want a competitive environment anymore because these people are so snowflaked out that they think that it's just everything is hate to these people. Oh my goodness, I couldn't compete with you, so that's hate. You beat me, that's hate. Or you're white and you beat me and I'm black and I lost. That's racist. These people shy away from failure. They shy away from losing because they think that it's hate or they can't handle it. And they are the snowflake generation where they don't literally want to learn from a mistake or have it make them better. They're just afraid. And these people are unwilling to face failure. They're unwilling to face anything like that. But we live in this culture where if you come out and tell someone like, "Hey, get a job." "Oh my God, you're racist." You come out and say, "Hey, dude, you can do better. Get a job and like get better. You can be better. You lost there. You came in last. Try again. You could maybe get in first." How dare you say that to me? That hurt my feelings. What do you mean that I came in last? I still get a trophy. You see what I'm saying? Like there's this psychology and especially predominantly in the millennial generation where they're so afraid. They have been coddled. Okay, they have been coddled to the point of giving out a participation trophy when they come in last. That is not healthy. That's why a lot of them subscribe to communism. We're all equal. There's no competitiveness. We don't want to compete. We just want the government to give us everything equally, distribute everything. That's why communism is so appealing to these people, because they're literally afraid to compete. And it's bred this safe space snowflake millennial generation that is embarrassing to me. It's embarrassing to me because I am a millennial and these people are a disgrace to my generation. Yes, and listen, we need to learn from failure. Okay, successful people learn from failure. Successful people take risks. Successful people know what it's like to lose, and that's what makes them better. They don't sit there and complain and piss and moan about it and call everybody racist, and it's hate, and how dare you say I came in last and aren't going to give me a participation trophy. Oh my gosh, would you look at that? No. That's not healthy for a society, because that's literally what ushers people into the arms of communism, because they want everything handed to them from the federal government. We as human beings, we are competitive by nature. As human beings, we are competitive by our nature, and that is healthy when you apply it in a healthy way. But this generation is so afraid of being told what reality is. They don't want their feelings hurt, that we no longer have reality. And this goes in the medicine, science, you name it, engineering, across the entire board, Disney, music, everything. Oh, this person sucks, but we don't want to tell them. We don't want to hurt their feelings. Oh, this black person sucks, but we can't say that because we'll be called a racist and hurt their feelings. So just give them the job. Oh, this gay person sucks compared to this white person, but we got to give the gay person the job, because if we give the white person the job, that's systemic racism, even though they suck at the job. Woke hires is what I call them. And that's where we live right now, because people are afraid of just dealing with reality. All right, let's see. We have a couple more super chats. Let me pull this up real quick. Thank you guys, man. I appreciate it. No, really. Yeah. And like I said, we have some donations coming in through Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. The link is in the description below. You can write a little note on there as well. So we have some coming in right now. So thank you. But let's do some of these super chats real quick. We have another super chat from Eamon. A $10 super chat says, been following you since Kyle's trial and seeing you on Timcast. Keep up the good work. Let's go, Brandon. Thank you very much. Yeah, man, I've been on Tim's show, like 8 times? But that show, that super Timcast IRL show with Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, and freaking Tim, dude, that was just like unreal. It was unreal. I'm so grateful I was able to be a part of that, man. So thank you guys for rocking with me from day one. I truly appreciate it. We have a $5 super chat from RJ Man. We salute you. RJ Man says, protest at State Killer Off Campus reads the flyer calling for the university to protect students from a violent, bloodthirsty murder. Yes, we have a bunch of woke tards at ASU that are literally protesting Kyle Rittenhouse. I believe, I'm going to ask him about this tomorrow. I do believe he's not attending on campus. I think he's doing online classes. He's not even physically there. But these people are so afraid. They think he's a murderer. I think on the flyer they even said, we don't care if the verdict was not guilty. He's still guilty or something like that. They literally want to ban Kyle Rittenhouse from attending ASU, even though he has been declared not guilty. But this is what these people do. They dictate what reality is. Oh, you were declared not guilty? Doesn't matter. We will threaten people at the campus. We will threaten people for supporting you, and we will declare you guilty in the court of public opinion, and you shouldn't be allowed to receive an education at ASU. And this is what these people do. This is what happens when you bow down to the woke mob. So we'll see. I'll ask Kyle about that tomorrow because I'm curious to see what he has to say. So stay tuned. We have another super chat from MN Port Dog. A $5 super chat says, there is a lot of rap and other musicians putting out music in support of him nowadays. Are you talking about Kyle? I think so. Yeah, I think there was a song put out by Bryson. I think there was another one by Bryson. I've seen a lot of songs. There's a lot of people trying to capitalize on the name Rittenhouse. I'll just put it at that, you know. I didn't want to do that. I never had that intention. I was just an eyewitness, and I knew that I had to tell the truth. That's where I could speak for myself. But obviously, there's all kinds of people out there that had nothing to do, weren't even in Kenosha, claiming they're right journalists. Dude, there's literally people tagging me right now on Instagram. Like, they're saying, this is why the independent media is important, because independent media beat corporate media. I get it, but there's literally like these grifter journos out there that are saying stuff like that weren't even in Kenosha, and then they tag me in it saying, so shout out to my fellow riot reporters, and then they'll tag me, and I'm like, dude, you weren't even in Kenosha. The hell are you doing? You've never broken any news on... There are literally people doing that right now, you guys. So watch out for the grifters, man. People that weren't even in Kenosha trying to take credit for the verdict. I'm telling you, man, these grifters, bro. These grifters, they're out there, dude. They're out there. We have another super chat, a $5 super chat from Cynthia J. Says, AZ loves Kyle. ASU snowflakes. Yes. Yes. There should be a counter protest. You know what I mean? There should be like I don't know, maybe, I think TPUSA has a chapter in ASU. There should be like a counter protest in support of Kyle, that he has the right to be there, just like everybody else. Just because he was falsely accused of literal murder, and he was vindicated, not guilty. He has every right to attend ASU. Every right. There should be a counter protest in support of him, peaceful. A peaceful counter protest in support of him. Alrighty, guys, we have a $50 donation on Venmo. A $50 donation on Venmo from Carrie Jumper. Carrie Jumper says, thanks. Well, thank you for the $50 donation, Carrie Jumper. We truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you. I appreciate it. We thank you so much for supporting us here on this show. And shout out to Jim Rye, has become an official member of the DH Alliance. Shout out to Jim Rye. For as low as $5 a month, you could support me monthly on the membership section of this channel. I'm getting more active on the community exclusive membership section on this channel. You won't be able to see those posts. You can only see them if you support me here on the membership section of this channel. Or some people want to support me for like $50 to $100 a month, and you can do that on my Patreon. The link is in the description below. So I leave all those options out because I'm constantly getting people asking me, how can I support you? Where can I support you? So yes, okay, we have some more super chats. Let me refresh this real quick before I let you guys go. We have a super sticker from Damizi626 with the $10 super sticker. Damizi, thank you so much for the support. I truly appreciate it more than you know. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is definitely much needed. It was definitely much needed. So yes, like I said, while we wait for a couple more super chats, tomorrow, for those of you that are just tuning in, tomorrow I will be live with Kyle Rittenhouse here on Drew Hernandez Live on YouTube in studio, either at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. One of those hours. It just depends on Kyle's schedule. He has confirmed for tomorrow. So shout out to that. Make sure you guys are here. Make sure you guys share the videos, because I'm telling you, man, YouTube, they do not want someone like me growing. I'm telling you, man. We could already see the numbers starting to go down. It's just what YouTube does. So you guys have to subscribe to the channel. You have to hit the bell notification. You have to toggle on the all selection. Smash the like button. You have to remember, I go live at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every single day, because YouTube sometimes will not give you the notification. So we need you guys. We want to have more in-studio guests. I can get people from Blaze. I can get people from InfoWars. I can get people from... I have a lot of friends. So we need you guys to support us monthly with super chats or on Patreon or the membership section of this channel. We would like to have a budget to have at least 2 to 3 in-studio guests a month, which gets pricey with flights, round trip, hotel rooms. So please, guys, we would definitely love to be able to do that, and we cannot do that without every single one of you guys. We can only do it with we the people. That is every single one of you guys. So thank you so much for supporting us. And like I said, go check out the merch store. The link is in the description below. Go follow me on all my socials. The links are in the description below as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow. We are going to launch the audio version of this podcast this week. Should be up within the next couple days, depending on how it goes with the access that we're given. Just got to wait on that. So you guys will be able to listen to the audio version of this podcast on the go, Apple Music, Spotify, all that good stuff. So thank you guys so much for the support. It's only by your support are we able to do these kinds of things, because